Now, if you guys have seen A Quiet Place or the sequel, then you know all about the Death Angels. With their oddly shaped faces, if you'd even call it that, their armored skin, protruding bones, you get the idea. Definitely not a pretty sight. I mean, just look at those chompers. Of course, they don't look like anything that we've seen before, and that's because they're literally from another planet. An alien planet which was destroyed, thus leading these bad boys, or aliens I guess, to jump on an asteroid and hope for the best. Turned out okay. They ended up on Earth. So I mean, good for them, bad for us. But we could always find ways to kill them, so maybe just a slight inconvenience for us until we kill them all. Who knows? Today in LBQ, we're asking what if the Quiet Place Death Angels were real? Let us know what other scary what ifs we should ask. These are fun, guys. I'm enjoying myself a little bit. I know you guys don't like when I have too much fun, but I'll have a little bit of fun with this one, you know? Smash that like button. Let's get into it, baby. Let's go. I'm jacked up about this one. You got me all fired up. So I will say this video may contain some spoilers, although the first film came out in 2018, and it was a pretty big deal, so if you didn't see it, I don't know what you talked about in 2018. The Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, so it wasn't that. Actually, no. I guess it was February 2018, so that is a valid excuse. That's why I haven't seen the movie. I was watching the Eagles over and over. Just joking. Not the point. If you haven't seen A Quiet Place, well, I'm including some quotes from the big man, Johnny K, and he may spoil some stuff for you. So just watch the film if you haven't, then come back, or just watch this video anyways and deal with the spoilers. Cool. So Death Angels, what are they? Where did they come from? What's their purpose? Well, as I said before, aliens. Aliens. And they're just trying to survive, but sometimes survival means killing humans. See where this is all going, guys? Of course, they have super hearing abilities, which means although they could hear anything and everything, extremely high-pitched noises or frequencies can deter or even immobilize them for a period of time. Almost like a dog whistle on steroids. On top of this, they're blind, so it's not like they could see us, just hear anything and everything we do. So that kinda sucks. Still cool though, guys. Aliens! Isn't this what we've all been asking for? You know, everyone's like, where are the aliens? Here they are. It's kind of just like, I don't know. It's kind of funny that we just always think aliens are cool and not gonna try to kill us. We're like, we wanna meet the aliens. Let's see Area 51. Where are the aliens? And we just think they're gonna be like, oh look, it's humans. Let's all live together. No, they might just end it for us, so I'm just saying, keep that in mind. Anyway, the beauty is during a podcast, John Krasinski actually explained the origin of these things and how he created their designs. Back in 2018, while on the Empire podcast, Krasinski, who directed and co-wrote the film, spoke about the Death Angels, saying, I quote, "They are absolutely aliens. They're from another planet." Where I developed the idea of them and what I wanted them to look like was most alien movies are about takeovers, agendas. They're a thinking alien creature, and for me this idea of a predator, this idea of a parasite, this idea of something that is introduced into an ecosystem was interesting. He wanted to say the idea of something that truly can't be held back is what he had in mind. And when making a comparison or trying to relate what it would be like for us to truly understand what dealing with these things in the real world would be like, he said, I quote, "I remember a terrible joke that I said was, it's disgusting and disturbing, but it's true, it would be like releasing wolves into a daycare center. That's how the world responds." Now, if you could imagine that horrifying situation in your mind, it definitely wouldn't be pretty. So with that in mind, naturally, the answer to our question is that we'd likely be SOL. If you never heard that term, it means out of luck. The S stands for something else. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Now there is some good news, sorta, not really. These things can't swim and are subject to drowning if being submerged, so that's good. If we could somehow lure all the Death Angels into a frozen lake, have them fall into a small hole, it seems our problem would be solved. It's hard to get up from a frozen lake after you go under, right? It's pretty easy, right? Obviously not. If you've seen the films, you know the characters need to remain as quiet as possible or fear potentially having to find a new safe hiding spot in hopes they're able to lose the Death Angels that are tracking them. Obviously this wouldn't be a viable way for the entire world's population to live all the time until we die. We wouldn't be able to walk around staying as quiet as a mouse, which means we got a few options or outcomes, but odds are all of what I'm about to say does happen. Inevitably, a lot of people will die. You'd have those so proud of where they're from. You know the ones who lose their life during a hurricane when the rest of the city evacuated, but they didn't? Because ain't no storm scares me! Yeah, like, those like-minded people would probably hear about the Death Angels and play it cool. I got my guns, I'm not leaving my house for aliens, I'll shoot them between the eyes, and then bam, you're dead. Horrible death too, it wouldn't be fun. Like, these things probably tear you apart. Your guns wouldn't do much to them. They got armor and stuff, so I'm just saying, just a heads up. Didn't warn you. There would also be mass panic. If you think the pandemic was bad, oh boy. I'll put it for you this way. You could take the craziest Black Friday sales, those who took part in the riots that took place last year, and the pandemic fear, mix it all together, and that's what we'd be dealing with. It wouldn't even make sense. People would be fighting each other, their neighbors, aliens, anyone they saw. It truly would be everyone for themselves, almost like The Purge, but like actually makes sense for a legitimate reason. It'd be a good movie too. Hopefully some people would realize you go further together, but others, of course, would be in the camp of more people slowing everyone down. To each their own, unfortunately, no one would be safe. Now I won't say what happens in the films, as that's, I guess, what people would need to do in order to survive, but is that really any kind of life? Fending off aliens every day, staying quiet? It's unclear how these things reproduce, as in do they lay 100 eggs at once, or give birth to one alien at a time? Obviously numbers here truly will determine how detrimental these things being on Earth are. For example, if 100 death angels are on Earth and over a year's time, or less, we kill them all, and they give birth, let's say over the span of a year, to 50 other aliens total. Not 50 each, just 50 aliens born on top of the 100 we already killed. That's manageable. Whereas if 100 invade Earth and each give birth to 100 of their own spawns, that's more of a takeover. The idea of nuking is also somewhat out the window, because we'd have to find a way to either lure or immobilize these things without anyone being anywhere near them before the nuke goes off. Obviously we would die from the explosion or radiation, thus we would need to be very far away. Unfortunately, death angels were made to quite literally be that. As Krasinski explained, I quote, "The idea behind all that is they're definitely aliens and they're an evolutionary perfect machine. So the idea is if they grew up on a planet that had no humans and no light, then they don't need eyes, they can only hunt by sound. They also develop a way to protect themselves from everything else, so that's why they're bulletproof and all these things." He went on to say, I quote, "And the other idea, regarding the armor, also the reason why they were able to survive kind of the explosion of their planet and then survive on these meteorites, because they've evolved to be bulletproof. Until they open themselves up to be vulnerable, they're completely invulnerable. So in a sense, these things can only die when they're willing to. Meaning we'd have to find a way to more or less make these things want to kill themselves or have us do them the favor. The way one could do that would be making a very high-pitched sound. The issue there is you need to use speakers large enough to be heard around the world, which is not possible. Of course, this could be more of a mission that over time we're always playing very loud music and sounds to attract these things, only to immobilize and shoot them dead when they are vulnerable. However, as we know, sound attracts them, so we'd have to find a way to play a sound that at first attracts them, then we could switch the sound to immobilize them before either shooting or bombing them, given their new state. Do you guys see how difficult that would be? I'm not saying sometimes in life you gotta give up, but truth be told, there are a lot of unknowns about the other side, and if you've seen the movies, you know these alien things aren't friendly, aren't easy to kill, and are massive. They're huge. So the idea of me going out on my own terms doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world when it comes to this question. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you guys will call me a coward, or in other words, in the comments down below, but sometimes you just gotta see it for what it is. We'd lose, we die. Or you guys could try to fight them off, but I mean, good luck. And there you guys have it for what if the Quiet Place death angels were real. Bit of a depressing ending there, but I just try to keep it real with you guys. Sometimes you just can't win in life, and no one is immortal, so I mean, I'm just saying, quick and easy or being torn and eaten by an alien, it's really not that tough of a choice. Let me know what you guys would do in this situation if you would find a way out. I think the human race would be doomed is what I'm getting at. Let's lighten the mood now with some comments from the video. Top 10 secrets the president is hiding. Rogue Wolf Gaming said, "Must be not good secrets if people could expose them." It's not that, it's look, here at LBQ, we got a very tight relationship with the US government. So sometimes we call the White House and we're like, yo, we gotta make a video. Can you give us some secrets? And they're like, you can't tell people the secrets, but we'll give it to you. And then they give it to us, and then I tell everybody anyways. So Joe, if you're watching this, I apologize. I exposed your secrets, but hey, what do you want me to do? Come on. Green Polo Boy 3 said, 11, what if all the presidents are aliens themselves? I back it. No doubt, 100%. Done deal. Who wants that much power? Who wants to be in charge of that many people? Think about that. I can't even make myself breakfast. You think I want to be in charge of a whole country? Are you crazy? Biogaming said LBQ is too smart. Well, that's because I have a mega brain. Okay? You could have like an average brain, you could have a good brain, and then you could have mega brain. I have mega brain. Mega. Alright guys, that's all for this one. Been your host, Pepper. Stay spicy. And again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys would do. You guys think we'd survive this? Good luck. I would love to hear what you have to say about this one.